In Manitoba, Canadians are paying respect to a man remembered for defending Aboriginal rights. Elijah Harper is lying in state this afternoon at the provincial legislature. He died on Friday at the age of 64. Some may remember him best as a First Nations leader and politician who blocked the Meech Lake Accord back in 1990. At the time, Harper refused to support a constitutional deal negotiated without the consent of Aboriginal peoples. His funeral will be held later tonight, and he will be buried on Thursday. Now, Derek Nepanak is Grand Chief of the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs. He was also a close friend of Elijah Harper's, and he's going to speak at tonight's funeral. He joins us now over the phone from Winnipeg. Grand Chief Nepanak, how are you doing right now?
Well, it's been a really difficult day for many people who are really close to Elijah, but we're doing our best, and we're paying our respects here today in Winnipeg.
How is his wife and his kids doing?
Well, obviously everybody's very distraught by the sudden passing. You know, we knew that Elijah was a true warrior, and being a true warrior, he worked through many physical ailments, and his medical condition caught up with him in time, and we're all saddened by it. But he was a true warrior 100% of the way.
And what do you mean by that? How would you describe him?
Well, Elijah's influence went far beyond his days when he sat in the legislature here and when he sat as an MP on Parliament Hill. His influence is still alive here in Manitoba. He's informed a lot of our positions that we've developed in the last couple of years anyway, particularly when it comes to resource development, resource management. We stand by what Elijah's message always was. And the message always was that, if you want to build legitimacy into Canada's Constitution when it comes to Indigenous people, you've got to engage us in consultation. You've got to engage in a respectful way that's going to recognize the role we've played in the development of this nation.
And how was he as a friend?
Well, he was a beautiful person, such powerful statements came out of his mouth, but he was such a soft-spoken and humble man. I was always struck by the great depth of spirituality that he demonstrated in all of the conversations I had with him, and he was just a beautiful person, just a great honor to have known him.
How would you like him to be remembered?
Well, I think that Elijah should be remembered as as a true First Nations leader of the time, a visionary of the time. And when we think about Canada's Constitution and the patriation efforts of the 1980s, Indigenous people will always remember Elijah Harper. They'll remember him for what he did in the Manitoba legislature. And once in a while, it's going to be okay for Indigenous people in Canada to say no to processes that do not fairly and adequately consider our role in the future Constitution of Canada. And I would like people to remember him for taking a stand and making sure that we preserve a place for Indigenous people as we move forward in the Canadian context or the Canadian idea.
Mm-hmm. And you are speaking at his funeral tonight. How have you prepared for that?
Well, it took me a couple of days. I was involved in springtime ceremony myself, and I was on the land. I didn't get news of his passing until I came out of my springtime ceremony, and I immediately began to prepare for what it is that I have to say at his funeral this evening. I'm going to tell the people that are in the service, I'm going to let everybody know how dear he was to me, how much he informed my perspective, how much he inspired me in the work that he did. And even though Elijah's gone, his work is not going to stop. We're going to continue to press his message, and we're going to continue to look for a Canada that's going to engage our people in a respectful way in the Constitution.
Well, we do wish you all the best tonight, and our thoughts are with you. Thank you for your time.
Miigwech, thank you very much.
Grand Chief Derek Nepanak of the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs joining us live from Winnipeg.